Hey there, my friends. Welcome back to the channel, where we talk about living healthier, happier, and longer, especially as we embrace the wisdom of our later years. I'm so glad you're here today because we're diving into something really special, something that could change the way you think about aging and longevity. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss any of our tips for thriving in your 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond. As always, I'm so grateful to have you in this community of wise elders seeking inspiration and practical advice. So let's get to it. Today, we're talking about the silent organ you're ignoring after 70 and why it's key to longevity. Now, I know that title might sound a bit mysterious, but stick with me because this is something we don't talk about enough. When we think about staying healthy as we age, we often focus on the heart, the brain, maybe the bones or joints. But there's one organ, quiet, humble, and often overlooked, that plays a massive role in how long and how well we live. Any guesses what it might be? Don't worry. I'm not going to keep you in suspense for long. This organ isn't just about physical health. It's tied to your energy, your mood, and even your ability to bounce back from life's challenges. As someone who's passionate about helping you live your best life, I want to share why this organ deserves your attention and how you can nurture it starting today. Whether you're 55, 65, 75, or even 85, it's never too late to make small changes that lead to big results. So, grab a cup of tea, get cozy, and let's dive into this together, like old friends catching up over something that really matters. Part 1, what's the silent organ? All right, let's reveal the star of today's show, the liver. Yes, your liver, that incredible, hard-working organ tucked away under your ribs, quietly doing its job day in and day out. Now, I can almost hear some of you saying, the liver? Really? I thought this was going to be about something more exciting. But hear me out. The liver is like the unsung hero of your body. It's not flashy like the heart or mysterious like the brain, but it's absolutely critical to your longevity and quality of life, especially after 70. Why do I call it the silent organ? Well, for one, it doesn't complain much. Unlike your knees that ache after a long walk or your stomach that grumbles when you're hungry, the liver can be struggling without you even knowing it. It's so good at its job that it keeps going, even when it's under stress, until things get really serious. And by the time you notice symptoms, it might be a bigger problem than you expected. That's why I want to talk about it now, because prevention is always better than cure, right? The liver does over 500 different jobs in your body. Can you believe that? It's like the ultimate multitasker. It cleans your blood, breaks down toxins, helps digest fats, stores energy, and even plays a role in keeping your immune system strong. As we age, though, the liver can start to slow down. It's not as efficient as it was in our 20s or 30s, and that's normal. But here's the good news. You can support your liver in simple, practical ways to keep it humming along, and that's what we're going to explore today. Part 2, why the liver matters after 70. So, why is the liver such a big deal after 70? Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine your body as a beautiful old house, one that's been lived in, loved, and filled with memories. Over time, the pipes might get a little rusty, the paint might chip, and the furnace might need some TLC. Your liver is like the house's filtration system. If it's clogged or overworked, the whole house starts to feel it. Your energy dips, your digestion gets wonky, and you might even feel a little foggy or moody. As we get older, our bodies naturally face more wear and tear. Maybe you had a few decades of enjoying rich foods, a glass or two of wine, or medications for things like blood pressure or cholesterol. All of that gets processed by your liver. Over time, it can build up what I like to call metabolic dust, toxins, fats, or even scar tissue that make it harder for the liver to do its job. And when the liver struggles, it affects everything else. Your heart, your brain, your joints, even your skin. Here's something else to think about. After 70, your body's ability to repair and regenerate slows down. The liver is amazing because it's one of the few organs that can actually regenerate itself, like a superhero with a comeback story. But it needs the right conditions to do that. If you're not given the love it deserves, it's like asking that superhero to fight villains without any rest or fuel. That's why taking care of your liver now can make such a big difference in how you feel today and how many vibrant years you have ahead. Part 3. What's hurting your liver? Now, let's talk about some things that might be putting stress on your liver, because knowing what's going on is the first step to fixing it. I'm not here to point fingers or make you feel guilty. Life happens, and we've all made choices that seem fine at the time. But understanding these factors can help you make small tweaks for a big payoff. First up, diet. I'm not talking about fad diets or anything extreme, but the foods we eat every day can either help or hurt the liver. Things like processed foods, think packaged snacks, fast food, or sugary sodas, can be tough on the liver because they're loaded with trans fats, artificial additives, and sugars. Over time, too much sugar can lead to something called fatty liver, where fat builds up in the liver cells and makes it harder for the organ to function. It's like clogging up that filtration system we talked about. Then there's alcohol. Now, I know a glass of wine with dinner or a beer at a barbecue can be part of life's joys, especially when you're catching up with friends or celebrating. But alcohol is processed directly by the liver, and too much over time can cause inflammation or even scarring, known as cirrhosis. The good news? Moderation is key, and we'll talk about what that looks like later. Medications are another big one. If you're managing conditions like diabetes, high cholesterol, or arthritis, you might be on meds that your liver has to process. Even over-the-counter stuff, like painkillers, can add up. I'm not saying to stop your meds. Always talk to your doctor about that. But being mindful of how they affect your liver is important. And let's not forget stress. I know, it sounds unrelated, but chronic stress messes with your hormones, which your liver has to balance. Plus, when we're stressed, we might reach for comfort foods or skip exercise, and that's a double whammy for the liver. Part 4. How to love your liver starting today. All right, enough about the challenges. Let's get to the good stuff. How can you show your liver some love and help it support your longevity? I'm going to share 7 practical tips that are easy to weave into your life. These aren't about turning your world upside down. They're about small, sustainable changes that add up over time. Tip 1. Eat liver-friendly foods. Your liver loves foods that are colorful, fresh, and whole. Think vegetables like broccoli, kale, and beets. They're packed with antioxidants that help your liver detox naturally. Berries like blueberries or strawberries are great too. And don't skip healthy fats. Avocados, nuts, and olive oil are your liver's best friends because they help it process fats properly. Try swapping out one processed snack a day for something fresh. Maybe instead of chips, grab a handful of walnuts or some carrot sticks with hummus. It's a small step that feels like a treat. Tip 2. Stay hydrated. Water is like a magic elixir for your liver. It helps flush out toxins and keeps everything moving smoothly. Aim for 8 to 10 glasses a day. But if plain water feels boring, add a slice of lemon or cucumber for a spa-like vibe. Herbal teas, like peppermint or chamomile, are great too. Just steer clear of sugary drinks. They're like kryptonite for your liver. Tip 3. Move your body. Exercise isn't just for your muscles. It's a gift to your liver. When you move, you improve blood flow, which helps your liver process toxins more efficiently. You don't need to run a marathon. A 20-minute walk, some gentle yoga, or even dancing to your favorite music in a living room counts. I love putting on some classic Motown and having a little dance party. It's good for the soul and the liver. Tip 4. Watch the alcohol. I mentioned moderation earlier, and here's what that means. For most folks over 70, sticking to 1 drink a day, or even less, is a good rule of thumb. If you're not sure what's right for you, check in with your doctor. And on days you don't drink, your liver gets a chance to rest and repair. Maybe try a mocktail with sparkling water and fresh mint. It's festive and liver-friendly. Tip 5. Be mindful of medications. If you're on multiple meds, talk to your doctor or pharmacist about how they might affect your liver. Sometimes there are alternatives or ways to minimize the load. And avoid taking unnecessary over-the-counter drugs, like popping painkillers for every little ache. Your liver will thank you. Tip 6. Get enough sleep. Sleep is when your liver does some of its best work, like repairing cells and clearing out toxins. Aim for 7 to 8 hours a night, and try to keep a consistent bedtime. A cozy bedtime routine, like reading a good book or listening to calming music, can make all the difference. I know life gets busy, but think of sleep as your liver's daily spa treatment. Tip 7. Manage stress. Stress is sneaky, but you can outsmart it. Try simple things like deep breathing for 5 minutes a day, jotting down 3 things you're grateful for, or spending time in nature. Even chatting with a friend over coffee can lift your spirits. Your liver doesn't need the extra burden of stress hormones. So give yourself permission to slow down and savor the moment. Part 5. Real-life stories of liver love. Let me share a couple of stories to bring this home. I heard from a viewer named Susan, who's 72 and lives in Ohio. She told me that after years of eating processed foods and feeling sluggish, she started adding more veggies to her meals and cut back on soda. Within a few months, she had more energy and even lost a few pounds without trying. She said, "I didn't realize how much my liver was doing for me until I gave a little help." Then there's Tom, a 68-year-old from London, who used to enjoy a few beers every night. After learning about his liver, he switched to 1 beer a couple times a week and started walking every morning. He told me he feels sharper and sleeps better than he has in years. These stories remind me that small changes can lead to big wins, no matter your age. Part 6. Why this matters for longevity. So, why does all this matter for living a long, vibrant life? Because your liver is like the conductor of your body's orchestra. When it's in tune, everything else plays better. Your heart pumps stronger, your brain stays sharper, and your immune system fights harder. A healthy liver means more energy to do the things you love. Whether it's gardening, playing with your grandkids, or finally taking that trip you've been dreaming about. Studies show that people who take care of their liver tend to live longer and with fewer health problems. For example, a 2020 study in the Journal of Hepatology found that a healthy liver can reduce the risk of chronic diseases like diabetes and heart disease, which are big concerns as we age. But beyond the science, it's about feeling good in your own skin, waking up with spring in your step, and knowing you're giving your body the tools to thrive. Well, my friends, we've covered a lot today, haven't we? I hope you're walking away with a new appreciation for that silent hero in your body, your liver, and some practical ideas for giving it the care it deserves. Aging is a gift, and taking care of ourselves is how we make the most of it. Whether you're 60, 70, or beyond, every small step you take today is an investment in a longer, healthier, happier life. Let's recap those 7 tips one more time. Eat liver-friendly foods, stay hydrated, move your body, watch the alcohol, be mindful of medications, get enough sleep, and manage stress. Pick one to start with this week. Maybe it's swapping out a soda for water or taking a 10-minute walk. You don't have to do it all at once. Progress, not perfection, is the name of the game. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's one thing you're going to try to support your liver? Or maybe you've already made some changes and noticed a difference. Share your story. Your wisdom inspires all of us, and this community is stronger because of you. If you found this video helpful, please give a thumbs up and share it with someone you care about. Your support helps us keep bringing you content that matters. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss our next video. We've got more tips, stories, and inspiration coming your way to help you live your best life. As I always say, growing older isn't about slowing down. It's about living wiser, fuller, and with more joy. Here's a little quote to leave you with. Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Stay healthy, stay happy, and I'll see you in the next video.